What's up, y'all? Big Snoop D-O-double-G. I'd like to welcome you all to my house, the dog house. Slide in. No, fuck that. Play the clip.
What's up, y'all? Big Snoop D-O-double-G. I want to welcome y'all to my house, the dog house. Slide in.
YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to episode 2, MTV Cribs, as you would have seen in the intro. A little bit of humour, a little bit of laugh for obviously your Sunday or whenever you're watching this. I appreciate the support very much so on our first episode. Again, I didn't realise it was going to be 16 minutes long, so I sincerely do apologise with that. Didn't realise how long and how much I can yap on for. So we'll keep this one nice and short and sweet. Again, this is going to be a bit of a tour of the new pad we just recently moved into 2 weeks ago, located in here, Cemagi, Bali, Indonesia. Let's get into it. Jumping straight into it, this is obviously the driveway that leads down to our villa into a nice carport. And the villa actually backs onto some nice rice fields, which is beautiful. As you can see, this is a different bike you would have seen in episode 1. My current bike is in for a service, but this is just a bit of a temporary bike. But let me know if you've ever ridden an X-Max or you've purchased an X-Max. It's definitely on my mind. Again, obviously this is an NMAX. This is Miss Olivia's bike, but I don't know about the dirt bike. Again, we don't even live on a dirt road anymore. They look sick and they're fun to ride, but they're super impractical, let's be honest. Especially if you're doing sort of shops at the grocery store or anything like that. First door is just our laundry / storage room. Again, you can get your washing done here in Bali for relatively cheap, but don't expect the clothes to come back in the same quality or as the same quality as you dropped them off as you can sort of see. There are plenty of Bateman's Academy jerseys / samples sitting there. I'll be making a video quite shortly in terms of what's happening with the clothing side of things of Bateman's Academy. Let's just say I've been royally fucked over the last 6 months, which has delayed the process of getting the singlets and the t-shirts and the jerseys and everything like that. So the joys of trying to get business done here in Bali. The second door, of course, being the entry to the villa. Now, this is a 2-bedroom villa with a pool. So this is Miss Olivia's bedroom. This is the living room, kitchen, and that is my bedroom there, of course, with a pool, as we can see. Fortunately, the sun isn't out at the moment, hidden by a fair few clouds, which makes the villa not look the greatest. But nonetheless, entry, shower, bedroom, couch, dining table, kitchen, sunbeds, another bedroom with my washing there. Entering the living room now, couch, walking pad. Now, if you live in Bali or if you've ever come to Bali, you know this thing is an absolute essential piece of living in said Bali, especially if you live in peak Canggu or Uluwatu nowadays. It is quite impossible to get your steps in here, but that thing makes it a lot effing easier. TV, another thing that's becoming quite an essential piece of this villa is this little thing here called a Nintendo Switch 2. One thing I've never even heard of up until probably 2 weeks ago. Mario Party on said Nintendo Switch 2 is the shit.com. Now don't get me wrong, I'd never even heard of it 7 days ago. But shout out to Liam for not only giving us the inside of said game, but also giving us the game. It is so fucking fun. It actually takes me back to like being 8 years old again. Moving on from the living room, dining table, mirror. It's supposed to be a full length mirror, but realistically fits my legs in it if I'm not 4 meters away from it. Definitely need some artwork. It's looking a little bit like an insane asylum in here. So that is next on the to buy list. But dining table, this thing is legit solid wood and so fucking heavy to move. And then the selling point of the villa, the kitchen. Now, I'm a fatty, as you all know. I eat 5-6 times a day, and this is where I spend the majority of my time other than behind a desk or inside the gym. So having a well-equipped kitchen is beyond rare here in Bali, but also quintessential for someone like myself. So the natural light, how big, obviously, this open area living sort of is. It's an open area because obviously it's closed off, but again, this was definitely a selling point of the villa. 2, not that I get the time much, sit here and look out to a view like this. Just mind my washing over there. Sun's out now. Like I say, mind my washing over there and mind this big fuck off hole that has now been installed because the water meter hadn't been installed prior to us moving in. The worst thing about, well, one of the downfalls of this villa is that no sun gets to this corner, as you can sort of see, so not much grass is growing, unlike areas such as. Now, like I say, that is Miss Olivia's bedroom, not that I need to show you because it is the exact same replica as this room over here, being mine. Luckily enough, the cleaner came this morning. Don't worry, it is not always this clean and tidy unless it's a Monday or a Thursday and said cleaner has come. But this is where the magic happens, not here, over here. Obviously this is the work setup, and like I say, this is where I spend the majority of my time if I'm not in the kitchen or lifting heavy circles inside the gym. Air purifier, that thing is quintessential for, again, living in Bali, seeing that the air quality here is absolutely dog shit. But again, if you can beat a view or waking up to a view like that every single morning and this being your house, your home, let me know. Again, this is the bathroom through here. Both bedrooms are the exact same. Yo. Nothing special. Weigh yourself fast every single morning, please. Shower, nice marble. But like I say, not a whole heap to show you. Said villa tour is over. That's everything. Villa tour over. Again, 2 bedrooms, living, dining, kitchen, pool, located in here in Cemagi, Bali. Just to give yourselves a bit of an insight in terms of how much a villa like this may cost is roughly for the year, probably around $25,000 for the year. So quite expensive. Again, anyone who thinks that Bali is cheap is sincerely wrong. It may be if you're living in a share house. It may be if you're living in the middle of the bumfuck. But again, living here in Cemagi is a little bit further out from the chaos. But then I think it's beautiful. The greenery, being so close to the beach, and I love it here. Again, Bali may not be a long-term play, but for right here, right now, I definitely love living here. The lifestyle, the weather, everything like that. And again, like I sort of said this time last week, no doubt we'll make a video regarding it, but I think this video may be a little bit too short just to be an MTV Cribs video. So let's see what else we can add to it. A couple of days later now, I've finished up editing the first half of this video and somehow I've done it again. I've yapped on for way too long and a lot longer than I first anticipated, meaning that I don't really need to make this video much longer, but I thought I may as well touch on what I made reference to at the beginning of this video in terms of what's going on with BA Clothing, and more specifically, I know there was a lot of anticipation around this singlet that I'm currently wearing, where we're at and what's been going on. And I made reference to that I've been royally fucked, and I have. So let's rewind 12 months when we initially started this passion project. Again, this was a passion project. This was something for us to give and is to give to our clients for free, more specifically these jerseys. So these straight off the bat took a lot longer to produce than I initially anticipated. Sample after sample after sample, and the samples that you will see in the beginning of this video are just a select number of the amount that I've got and had. I've thrown out many because a lot of them were dog shit poor. The quality of these, and everyone that has either worn one or currently has one, can be a testament. They are elite. A lot of time, a lot of money went into these, and like I say, we give these away for free to our current clients and to future clients. In saying that, stock is running very, very low. I think they're located back in Melbourne currently to ship out to new clients. I think we've only got a handful left, and I'm in the process, which we'll touch on now, of making more. But like I sort of say, this took way, way longer than I thought. I think I began this project maybe in March last year when I first landed back in Bali after Oz Summer. And I don't think we got these jerseys out until around October, November last year. So it was about an 8-month process, if not longer. Extremely frustrating. That was through a manufacturer that took way too long to produce sample after sample after sample. The quality in terms of the embroidery was really poor. We finally nailed it, and then I moved on to this singlet here. Again, that took ages in terms of nailing the shape. Their quality in terms of the print was really, really poor. At the beginning of this year, I decided to leave my old manufacturer and start working with the new one. Now, this new manufacturer, who we won't name, is renowned for doing a lot of merch, a lot of clothing for a lot of big businesses here in Bali. So I thought, okay, perfect. And a lot of my friends utilize this person. again, I gave him samples that I'd already made up, thinking that he would do a great job as a result of him doing great jobs with all of them. And pretty much he made one sample. They were really, really poor. I told him to go back and improve certain aspects of the jerseys and the singlets with the two products we were working on, with a third coming, which we'll touch on in a sec. And he pretty much ghosted me. To be blatantly honest, he pretty much wouldn't respond to my messages. And this was at the beginning of this year. So this was in February. And the process of him producing that first sample was around 2 months. So it took ages to produce the first sample. He got the first samples back to me. They were, again, dog shit. Wasn't happy with them. I'm never going to obviously release and produce a product that I'm not happy with. Again, if I'm not personally going to wear it, then I'm never going to expect anyone else to wear it. That's why, again, like I sort of say, if you've ever worn these jerseys, you know the quality of the jerseys are really, really high. So as I touched on in the last video, I've been traveling a fair bit in the first 6 months of this year, along with health issues and stuff like that. So in terms of priority list of this clothing production and the process, it was down the pecking order, let's be honest. But obviously I've landed back here in Bali after spending a couple of weeks in Melbourne. And now it's back to that list. So where are we at? What's the next step forward? How are we going to resolve this solution? And what is in the works for the remaining 6 months of 2026? Long answer short, we're going back to the old manufacturer. So it's probably going to take longer than what we would want and what we'd like, but it is what it is. If it means that we get a high quality product in the end, whether that means instead of taking 2 months, it takes 4 months or 6 months, it is what it is. It's something we're going to have to cop, unfortunately. I've just placed an order for 2 samples, a sample of our jerseys again, so obviously we can conduct or create a new batch of those to continue giving out to our new clients. And we're putting the production of these singlets on hold for now, with a third product in the works, which I may chuck a little photo up around here. It's a sample photo created by AI. So again, I'll show you once the sample is created and has been made. But to put it in summary, it's a t-shirt. It's gonna be plain black on the front. It's gonna be a boxy fit, oversized, but it's also gonna be cropped as well. Sort of more in line with the current fashion that's going on. But yeah, a very long, frustrating process. Again, if I had it my way, I'd just click my fingers and I'd pay X amount of money and we'd get it done faster and we'd speed that process up. But unfortunately, doing business, like I made reference to at the beginning of this video, in Bali, everyone works on, and you may hear and you may have heard the sort of the saying of Bali time. Everyone's here and it's on Bali time. So everything just takes 10 times longer than what you'd like. But it is what it is. It's frustrating to say the least. But again, like I sort of say, it's a passion project. I personally am really, really happy with how these jerseys came out and the feedback that I get from all clients that do receive one for free is positive. In summary, the clothing's coming back. I promise you that. It may take longer. I'm not setting any timelines. I've learned my lesson in the past in terms of saying it's going to be ready at X date and it takes longer and I end up with disappointed people. So again, we're going to have more jerseys and we have more jerseys on the way for our future clients. Like I sort of said a couple minutes ago, we have more jerseys, or a select amount of jerseys, back in Melbourne currently. So if you're watching this and you want one, send me a message and I'll send you one. But exciting things to come, I promise you that. Again, it's a passion project, something that I love. It's realistically for you guys, but it's also just as much for me as well, because I wear this clothing and the pieces every single day. So that's a wrap on this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the villa tour. Hopefully I've got a little bit more information regarding the clothing side of things. I know there's a lot of anticipation regarding this singlet. Don't worry, it's coming. Just be patient with us. Again, I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what else you guys want to see, and I shall see you next time.